Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of entitled People. Hope you're all doing wonderful today, and I hope you're ready for more ridiculous stories about ridiculous people. And if you enjoyed this content, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's begin. Karen rages via baby monitor at the army. So as username implies, I do army stuff, but not smartly. Recently, in the beautiful swamps of Louisiana, we were having an exercise. Fun times were had by all, except for Karen. You see, Karen lived on base, presumably, and like many parents, uses a baby monitor that has two-way talk. Essentially an overpriced walkie-talkie for baby, with speech detection. When we do small routine training exercises, we don't bother to encrypt radio traffic. Finicky, temperamental 1892 edition hand-me-down radios are a pain in the ass. Also, hypothetically, anybody with a radio that can tune to those frequencies can listen in. Not sure why you'd waste your time like that, but you do you. On the first day of the exercise, at about 2 a.m., I'm sitting there in the command tent, listening for anyone who needs anything via radio. Aside from hourly checks that the radios are actually working, we don't have any night missions, so all is quiet. Until at 2 sharp. X, this is Y, radio check, over. Followed by a child's voice going, hello? The frequencies we use are supposedly closed by someone who gets paid more than me, who ensures they aren't being used by local radio or anything similar. In years of doing this job, I've never had an eavesdropper chime in. So as any rational adult would in the dark of a swampy night in the romantically haunted swamps of the South, I was as calm and reasonable as could be. Holy f***, it's haunted. I kid you not, I crap myself. My goddamn equipment is poltergeisted. I'm across the damn tent. The captain in there with me also heard it, so I'm not going crazy. We're looking at this thing like it just dropped a fat one on the dining table, until someone else breaks the silence. X, this is Y. Say again last over. And the child's voice again, but scared. Mommy? So after the initial spookies wear off, it kinda clicks for us. Unencrypted traffic, probably some interference, not a big deal. Log it in the book and move on. I make the rookie mistake of ignoring it. As if my prophecy, spectral Karen has now awakened from her tricare-induced slumber and screeches into her baby's monitor. Who is this? Who hacked my baby monitor? My baby can't sleep with you damn soldiers doing this at all hours of the night. I have to get up early tomorrow and my baby is going to be cranky. Introducing my captain. Passed up for promotion, exiled to night shift, and fresh out of f***s. Ma'am, assuming you can hear us, this is an exercise on base. Please either change your channel or turn off your monitor. Who are you? Where are you? I'm going to report this to the military police. My husband is a junior officer, blah blah blah. Roger, ma'am. We'll get right on that. In the meantime, all the commotion and radio screeching has awoken the true Kraken, the Sergeant Major. One rule universally known by all soldiers of all ranks, private to captain alike. Don't screw with Sergeant Major. Don't screw with Sergeant Major's 2 hours of sleep unless someone is dying. If Sergeant Major is awoken and there isn't fresh coffee on, expect to die. Taking a second to assess the situation and probably to be petty, he wakes everyone up. 3 a.m. is a perfectly reasonable time to start live fire ranges, high explosives, loud noises, and they carry for miles and miles. Rattling windows, and occasionally waking up precious babies. As any of you who've ever lived close to a base can attest, them shits be loud. We spent until well after sunrise sending as much ordnance as we could at imaginary targets in some swamp-ass field in southern Louisiana, because Karen thought she had the power here when she really didn't. That is some real petty revenge right there. Basically turning the area into a war zone. Well, making it sound like one at least. Obviously, it was just a simple mix-up with them being on the same frequency, but for her to accuse them of hacking her baby monitor is just great. My mom stole $8K from me and opened credit cards in my name. I haven't talked to my mom for a little over 1 year now, but this is the story of my mom's lies. Growing up, my mom was always in and out of jail for stealing. Last time she was arrested was in 2015. I was 19 at that time. She always said she stole to provide for our family, but we never lived in a stable home. She would just blow money on expensive gifts and tell us we aren't poor, we have this. How many poor kids have this? As we lived from hotel to hotel. Growing up, I became the financially responsible child. I worked multiple jobs, got good grades, and did community service. I was able to save up $8,500 for college with multiple scholarships. During my hard work in high school, I also helped my mom with bills and paying for whatever she needed help with. When I left for college, she was arrested again, and I had to be dropped off states away by my aunt for my first day of college. I asked my mom for my college money, and she said she would transfer the money when she got out. When she got out, it all magically disappeared. She blamed my dead grandmother for stealing my money. In 2019, I discovered multiple credit cards and an apartment late on bills were open in my name. I cried to my mom about all these issues, and she comforted me and asked for more money. I gave her more money. I graduated with my bachelor's and went to grad school. I was able to be in grad school for 1 year with my savings before I needed to take Grad Plus loans out. I applied but was denied due to all the negative items on my credit score. My mom told me to just pay it off. I didn't. I dropped out instead. I was devastated, but I wasn't going to pay for other people's fun ride. I called all the credit companies and got the address for all the credit cards. It was my mom's address. When confronted, she broke down, saying it was my grandmother, and how dare I blame her for this. She demanded an apology and didn't speak to me for a week. My grandmother died before all the credit cards were open. I filed a police report against my mother. She doesn't know yet, but when she finds out, I am sure I will receive the best kind of text message. We stopped talking for another reason. Edit for all the comments. I have not spoken to my mother for a year, almost 2 years now. She has been blocked on everything. To the comments asking about why I kept giving her money, it was hard. It was either help with the bills or have no electricity, water, gas, or roof over mine and my brother's head. I didn't want to be homeless again, and I didn't want my brother to suffer either. I felt like I needed to help my family because for so long, I had the mentality that blood was thicker than water. I know now it isn't my responsibility. I was just young and thought I was doing the best I could to provide for my family from the ages of 16 to 23. I'm 26 now. Credit stuff. I have gotten a good amount taken off. Only 2 cards and 1 bill are on my credit score. No one takes pleasure in having to report your own parents to the police. Well, actually, I'm sure some would. But for most people, I'm sure that'd be a hard thing to do. But you gotta look out for yourself too. She robbed OP blind, left him or her with a ton of debt, and ruined their credit score. And because of that, OP had to drop out of college. If there's any valid situation to report your parents to the police, this would definitely be one of them. I really hope OP can bounce back from this, and I wish them the best. Entitled parent ignores me when I say not to pet strange horses. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I have a black horse. The color is important for later. Named Ebony, and I have her at a boarding stable where I used to get riding lessons at before getting my own horse. For some reason though, horses tend to attract entitled people. Since this wasn't my first encounter with them here, here's the cast. There's me, the entitled mom who I will call Barn Witch, and the entitled daughter who I'll call Barn Goblin, and my old trainer who still works there. So I had my horse tied up in a second, where you have room to groom them and be able to tack them up, and was brushing her down when Barn Goblin showed up, wanting to pet Ebony. I told her not to pet her since I didn't know this kid, and it is not a good idea to go near strange horses with the risk of being kicked, since horses can kill if they kick. Barn Goblin screams out, "Mommy, she won't let me pet the black horse." That's when Barn Witch showed up, huffing. "Lady, I have a kid and she wants to pet your horse." No, it is not a good idea to pet strange horses, since they can be skittish, I tell her. Barn Goblin wants yours though. She only likes black horses, and the trainer only let her ride a white one. Barn Witch snapped. "I'm sorry, but this isn't his horse, it's mine. And that horse the trainer brought out is better with new people, others aren't." I say, trying to keep calm. Right then, we heard Barn Goblin scream, and her hand was bleeding, since she tried petting my old trainer's new horse, since she was the only other black horse there. And this horse didn't like strangers at all, resulting in Barn Goblin getting bit pretty hard. My old trainer came out to see what was going on, and I will say he is someone you don't want to mess with. After I explained what happened and what was going on, my old trainer snapped at them, telling them to leave and find another place to ride, since not only did this kid get bit for not listening, but was yanking on and using spurs on his other horse, which wasn't allowed. I just smirked when Barn Witch and Goblin were kicked out, never to be seen again. For those asking me, the trainer did see the spurs, but Goblin wouldn't get down or remove the spurs when he asked her to, eventually forcing her off with a warning. The biting was the final warning. I heard this from him after they left, since I wasn't in the arena when it happened. I mean, pretty straightforward, isn't it? They didn't listen and the kid got bit. That was probably a good learning experience for the kid. And I assume in most cases, it's probably better to be bit by them rather than kicked. So in a way, I guess this kid is lucky, since it could have been worse. Well guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you enjoyed, drop a like on the video, it really helps me out. And also, subscribe to the channel for more Reddit shenanigans. Comment down below what you thought of these stories. And with that, I'm out of here. Have an awesome day guys, and stay safe.